Good morning, children. So, in the previous part, we learned various concepts, parties, meaning, etc., regarding bills of exchange and promissory note, and also we have learned two of the accounting treatment of bills receivable by the drawer. That was number one, retaining the bill till maturity, and number two, discounting the bill of exchange with the bank. So in this video, we are moving ahead with the third case, that is negotiation of a bill, or we can say endorsement of a bill also. Now, negotiation means the transfer of bills of exchange to another person in such a manner that the transferee of the bill, that means to whomsoever the bill is transferred, becomes its holder, who has the right to possess the bill in his own name and to recover the amount mentioned therein from concerned parties. Now, what are the various modes of negotiation? Number one, as you can see, a bill of exchange may be negotiated in the following two ways. Number one, negotiation by delivery. When a bill of exchange is payable to bearer, that means whosoever is holding the bill and no name is mentioned, it may be negotiated by mere delivery. That means simply I can give my bills receivable to you simply without writing anybody's name. A bearer instrument does not require the signature of the transferor. Then in that case, it will not require my signature. Number two is negotiation by endorsement and delivery. That is basically a safer option. When a bill of exchange is payable to a specified person or to his order, it can be negotiated only by endorsement and delivery. Endorsement is signing the bill for the purpose of negotiation. In that case, the sign of transfer, the name of the transferee, etc., needs to be mentioned very clearly, and then in that case, it doesn't become a bearer instrument. Now, endorsement of a bill, what does it mean? Endorsement means signing the bill of exchange for the purpose of transferring it to another, as we have discussed. The holder of a bill receivable can endorse the bill to another person by putting his signature at the back of the bill. The person endorsing the bill is known as endorser, and the person to whom the bill is endorsed is called endorsee. An endorsee may again endorse the bill over to some other person, and the process may continue to any extent. Suppose if I am having a bills receivable and if I have put in my signature at the back of the bill receivable, and I have given it, instead of making any payment in cash, to let's say some Mr. X, then Mr. X again will be known as endorsee and I'll be known as endorser. And instead of keeping it, Mr. X again gave this bill to somebody, let's say Mr. Y, as a payment. Then in that case, Mr. X will become the endorser and Mr. Y again will become the endorsee, and the process may continue to n number of times till the date of maturity. The person holding the bill at the date of maturity will be entitled to get its payment, and whenever the drawee or the acceptor will come to make the payment on the maturity date, he is least bothered that who is having the bill. He will just see the person who is asking for the payment, whether he is having the bills accepted by him or not, and he will make the payment. Following entries are passed in case of endorsement. And again, children, the entry for purchase, the entry for sale, the entry for acceptance of the bill will be the same as we have discussed in case 1 in the previous video. Next entry will be if X endorsed a bill in favor of Z. That means X, the maker, whom we have assumed to be the maker or the drawer of the bill, endorses the bill to Z. Then in that case, in the books of X, the entry will be Z debited to bills receivable account. Why we are crediting bills receivable? Because bills receivable is going out, or we can say bills receivable is being closed. And why Z is debited? Because obviously if X is giving bills receivable to Z as a payment, definitely Z would have been the creditor of X, and now since the payment is made by way of bill of exchange, Z's account needs to be closed. The creditor needs to be closed, therefore we will debit Z. In case of in the books of Y, there will be no entry again, because we have already discussed while discussing case number 2 in the previous video that whatever is done with the bill, whether it is retained till the maturity, whether it is sent to bank for collection, whether it is endorsed, whether it is discounted, etc., the drawee need not record these things in his books. So there will be no entry for the endorsement in the books of acceptor, that is Y in our example. In the books of Z, that means who is the endorsee, the entry will be bills receivable account debited, because he is receiving the bill and bills receivable now will be an asset to him. So therefore we will debit bills receivable account in the books of Z to X, because obviously if he is getting bills receivable as payment from X, that means definitely X would have been the debtor, and now debtor needs to be closed, therefore we have credited X. Another entry, when on the date of maturity, this entry will be passed on the date of maturity when Y, the acceptor of the bill, pays the amount of the bill on due date. Then in that case, in the books of X, the drawer, no entry will be passed because now he is not having the bill at all. The bill is with Z. So therefore no receiving entry will be passed in case of or in the books of X. Whereas in the books of Y, the entry will be bills payable account debited to bank account, the same entry which we have been discussing for payment. And in the books of Z, the entry will be bank account debited because his bank balance will be increasing, to bills receivable account because now bills receivable has been cleared and it needs to be closed. Moving ahead to case number 4, when the bill is sent to the bank for collection. Sometimes instead of discounting the bill, it is sent to the bank with the instructions to keep the bill till maturity and collect its amount from the acceptor on that date. In such a case, bank will not credit the customer's account until the amount of the bill is actually realized by it. Accounting treatment, as you can see here, when the bills are sent for collection, the sender of the bill, that means the drawer, opens a new account in its books named bills for collection account exclusively only when the bill is sent for collection. This is a personal account and is debited when the bills are sent for collection and is credited when the intimation of actual realization is received from the bank. As soon as the bill is sent to the bank for collection, bill for collection account needs to be debited, and as soon as the information by the bank is received that yes, the bill payment has been received, then in that case bills for collection account needs to be credited. Following entries are passed. These entries, again children, repeating, besides the entry for purchase, sale and acceptance of bills, these entries will be passed. The first entry, when bill is sent for collection, this entry will be passed in the books of the drawer. Bill sent for collection account debited to bills receivable account. Bill sent for collection is debited because now the bill is being sent to the bank for collecting it. And why bills receivable account is credited? Because it is going out from the business. Second entry, on the due date when the intimation of actual realization of the bill is received from the bank, entry will be bank account debited because now we know that yes, the bill amount is received and bank balance will increase, to bill sent for collection account because the purpose has been solved and now this account needs to be closed. Moving ahead children, another basically 4 cases we have discussed. Now these are few of the adjustments. Number 1, retiring a bill under rebate. Rebate here means discount. Sometimes what happens, the drawee or the acceptor can make the payment before the maturity period, before the maturity date. Then in that case, he is entitled to get a rebate or a discount for making that payment earlier, and the discount will be calculated on the basis of the time period or months he is paying earlier. Suppose if the maturity date is 15th January and if he has made the payment on 15 December, that means 1 month prior, so he will be getting the discount amounting to whatever the amount is coming to 1 month. As you can see, when the drawee makes the payment of the bill before its due date, it is called retiring the bill. In such a case, the holder of the bill usually allows him discount. Why we are using the word holder? Because we have already discussed 4 cases. The holder can be anybody on the date of maturity. It can be the drawer, it can be the endorsee, it can be the bank. Technically, in such a case, the holder of the bill usually allows him discount, technically called a rebate. So whenever we are giving or the holder of the bill is giving any discount to the drawee for making the payment earlier, which word we will be using in bills of exchange chapter children? Rebate. Such rebate with us is calculated at a specified rate per annum for the period, very important, for the period the payment is made too early. The rebate is a gain to the party making the payment and an expense to the party receiving the payment. That means the holder of the bill, for him, the rebate is considered to be an expense, and therefore in the books of holder of the bill, whether drawer, whether bank, whether endorser, it will be debited, whereas the one who is making the payment, that is drawee or acceptor, it will be considered as a gain and therefore it will be credited. Now the entry. as you can see in the books of X, here we are assuming that bill is retained till maturity and X is the holder and Y is obviously the acceptor. So if Y retires his acceptance before the due date, the entry in the books of drawer or the holder of the bill will be bank account debited with the amount of the bill after deducting rebate. And why we are debiting bank account? Because money is coming in. Rebate on bill account debited with the amount of discount given to the acceptor before making the payment before maturity date to bills receivable account, and bills receivable account again is credited because now this needs to be closed. Then in the books of Y, the entry will be bills payable account debited with the amount of bill to bank account with the amount of actual payment made after deducting rebate, and to rebate on bill account. And why rebate on bill account is credited with the amount of discount? Because it is a gain for the payer. Moving ahead, dishonor of a bill. Dishonor of a bill means sometimes it happens that when the maturity date has come and when the holder of the bill goes to the acceptor to collect the payment, due to any reason the acceptor might fail to make the payment, might fail to honor the bill, then in such a situation it is known as dishonor of a bill. So as you can read here, when the acceptor of the bill refuses to pay the amount of the bill on the date of maturity or becomes insolvent, that is bankrupt, not in the condition to pay his debts, it is called dishonor of the bill. In case of dishonor, the holder of the bill can recover the amount of the bill from any of the endorsers or the drawer. This line means that if the drawer is the holder of the bill on the maturity, that means case number 1, if the bill is retained till maturity, then the drawer is liable to then the drawer is liable to collect the payment only and only from drawer by any means. But if the bill was endorsed or if the bill was discounted, for example, suppose if the bill was discounted, then the holder of the bill on the date of maturity will be bank. Now bank is entitled on that, in the case of dishonor, bank is entitled to take the payment back from the drawer because it discounted the money. Or if the bill was endorsed to, let's say if I have endorsed bill to Mr. Y, and on the date of maturity obviously Mr. Y will be the holder of the bill, and if the acceptor doesn't make payment to Mr. Y, Mr. Y is entitled, the endorsee is entitled to recover the amount from endorser, from me. In that case I will be liable to make payment to Mr. Y. For this purpose, the holder of the bill must serve a notice of dishonor to the drawer and each prior endorser whom he seeks to make liable for payment. In that case, all the holder of the bills needs to give a notice prior. Such notice must be served immediately after dishonor or within a reasonable time. If this is not done, the holder of the bill loses his right to recover the amount from the party to whom such notice is not served. So suppose if the bill dishonor takes place, and if Mr. Y does not inform me, if he doesn't inform me, if he doesn't give me any notice that I am liable to pay him because now the bill is dishonored within a reasonable time, then in that case he loses his right to collect the payment from me, and then in that case he needs to get the money anyhow from the drawer himself, or he needs to lose in that case. Now the noting charges, very important concept in consideration of bills of exchange. Children, what are the noting charges? Sometimes it happens that when the bill is dishonored, when the acceptor refuses the payment of bill on the maturity date due to any reason, in that case obviously now the legally recovery of the money needs to be done, and in that case there are certain authorities known as notary public to whom the bill is handed over to collect the payment. So whatever charges are paid to notary public for this purpose is known as noting charges. It is paid by the holder of the bill initially, but ultimately it is recovered from the acceptor only. So as you can read here, to establish the fact that the bill was properly presented and dishonored, the bill is usually handed over to a person called notary public appointed by the court. The notary public again presents the dishonored bill to the acceptor for payment, and if the acceptor still refuses to make the payment, the notary public notes down the fact of dishonor on the bill itself. Such act of notary public is called noting. The notary public charges a small fee for the services rendered by him, which is called noting charges. Such charges are paid to the notary public first by the holder of the bill, but are ultimately recovered from the acceptor because he is the person responsible for the dishonor. This we have already discussed. Now Following entries. Now, as we have learned, there were 4 cases for treatment of bills receivable. Similarly, there are same cases for dishonor also. So following entries are passed for the dishonor of the bill in case the bill is held by the drawer himself till the date of maturity. That means in case number 1, if the bill gets dishonored, when the holder is keeping the bill till maturity, what will be the entry for dishonor? So again here we are discussing the additional entries. Entry for purchase, sale and acceptance will be the same. Now on the date of maturity transaction, when why the acceptor of the bill dishonors the bill on the due date, that means he fails to make the payment. In that case, the entry for dishonor will be reversed. Whatever entry was passed on the date of acceptance, the same entry will be reversed. On the date of acceptance in the books of X, we passed the entry bills receivable account debited to Y, but because here it is getting dishonored, we will reverse the entry. Y will be debited by Y because he has not made the payment, and again he has become the debtor asset to bills receivable account because now bill is being dishonored. And in the books of Y, the drawee, the acceptor, again the entry for which was made in the books of acceptor on the day on the date of acceptance will be reversed. The entry will be bills payable account debited to X because X has again become a creditor for Y. Number 2, when X pays noting charges. We have already discussed that noting charges initially will be paid by the holder of the bill to the notary public and later on will be recovered from ultimately from the acceptor. So the entry for paying noting charges initially by X or by the drawer will be Y debited to X, or we can say drawee's account will be debited to cash account. Why Y account is debited? Because this amount also needs to be recovered from the drawee or from Y, and that means for this amount also he has become the debtor, therefore his account will be debited to cash account because for the time being X or the drawer is making the payment and cash is going out. And in the books of Y, the entry will be noting charges account debited to X. Why noting charges is debited in the books of drawee? Because he is the person who is ultimately has to bear it, and it is an expense for him to X. Why X is credited? Because X has become a creditor for this amount also for Y. And next, usually you can see a compound entry is passed, or we can say a combined entry is passed for the 2 entries passed as above. If you see in both the above entries in the books of X, Y is debited. So what we can pass a combined entry is we can debit Y along with both the amounts, with the amount of bill dishonored plus noting charges, to bills receivable account with the amount of bill, to cash account with the amount of noting charges. Similarly, in the books of Y also we can pass the combined entry because you can see in both the above entries X is being credited. So what we combined entry we can pass bills payable account debited with the amount of bill, noting charges account debited with the amount of noting charges, to X with the amount of noting charges as well as the amount of bill. Renewal of a bill. Sometimes it happens that bill is dishonored, or the drawee may request the drawer to renew the bill for some future date. Means to extend the date basically. So sometimes the acceptor of a bill finds himself unable to meet the bill on the due date. In such a case, he may request the holder of the bill to cancel the original bill and draw a new bill in place of the old one. If the holder agrees, a new bill will be drawn either for the full amount of the old bill or for the balance amount in case of partial payment by the acceptor. In such a case, the drawer normally charges interest for the period of new bill. The interest may be paid in cash, or as is more common, may be added in the amount of the new bill. The entries to be made on the renewal of the bill are usually the same as in the case of dishonor. Why? Because now the old date needs to be cancelled, because first of all an entry will have to be passed for the cancellation of the old bill. So what is a renewal of a bill? Renewal of a bill means whenever the acceptor of the bill is unable to make the payment on maturity date, and if he wants to extend the period, he can request the holder of the bill on the maturity, whether it is endorsee, whether it is bank, or whether it is drawer. He can request him to extend the date, to cancel the old bill and make a new bill for an extended period of time. And in that case, it is up to the holder. If the holder is ready to cancel the old bill and make the new one, then in that case what the holder can do is the holder can cancel the bill and he can extend the date with a new bill, and in that case he can also take additional interest for the period so extended, for 1 month, 2 month, whatever the period is extended. And he can take the amount of interest separately in cash, or generally he can, which is generally done, he can add the amount of interest in the amount of new bill. And in this case also, for renewal also, the entry will be same as dishonor, because in order to make a new bill, the old bill needs to be cancelled. So let us discuss the entry. Following entries are usually passed in case of renewal of bills. First of all, an entry is passed for the cancellation of the bill, the same entry for dishonor. That means the entry which was passed on the date of acceptance will be reversed in both the books. In the books of drawer, the entry will be Y or drawings account debited to bills receivable account, and in the books of drawee, that is Y in our example, the entry will be bills payable account debited to X for bill cancelled. The second entry, when Y pays the amount of interest in cash rather than adding the amount of interest in bill, if the interest amount is paid in cash, then in the books of X the entry will be cash account debited to interest account. Why cash is debited? Because cash is coming in, and why interest is credited? Because it is an income. In the books of Y, the entry will be interest account debited to cash account. Why interest account is debited? Because it is an expense, and why cash account is credited? Because it is going out. When Y does not pay the amount of interest in cash, if the interest amount is not paid in cash, it is outstanding, then in that case, in the books of X or the drawer, the entry will be Y debited, because Y has become the debtor for the amount of interest, to interest account, again because it is an income. And in the books of Y or drawer, the entry will be interest account debited, because it is an expense, to X, because for the amount of interest now X has become the creditor. And the last one, when a new bill is received from Y, the entry in the books of X will be bills receivable account debited with the amount of bill to Y, because now Y's account needs to be closed. If interest account amount is added in this, it will be added. Then in the books of Y, the entry will be X account debited, or X, basically X debited to bills payable account. Moving ahead, children, in case the bill discounted from the bank is dishonored. Now, since bank is the holder of the bill, and if on the date of maturity, if the bill is dishonored, now bank is entitled to collect the payment from the drawer. So, in such a case, the noting charges will be paid by the bank, that means holder of the bill. The bank will recover the noting charges from the person who discounted the bill. That means bank will make the noting charges, will pay the noting charges for the time being. Bank will recover the noting charges from the drawer, and drawer will ultimately recover the noting charges from the acceptor. And ultimately the noting charges will be borne by the acceptor. As such, the following entries will be passed in this case. So in the books of X, on the date of dishonor, the entry will be Y debited, again the reverse entry, Y debited along with the amount of bill plus noting charges to bank account. And in the books of Y, the entry will be bills payable account debited with the amount of bill, noting charges account debited with the amount of noting charges which ultimately he has to bear to X. Then case number 3, when the bill endorsed to a third party is dishonored. Obviously, if on the date of maturity the bill is dishonored, and if it was endorsed, then in that case endorsee is entitled to collect the payment from the endorser of the bill, and for the time being endorsee will make or pay the noting charges. He will recover the noting charges from the endorser. Endorser will ultimately recover the noting charges from the acceptor of the bill. In such a case, the noting charges must have been paid by the endorsee. The endorsee will recover the noting charges from the endorser, and ultimately these will have to be borne by the acceptor. The following entries will be passed in this case. Transaction. Suppose a bill which was received by X from Y and was subsequently endorsed to Z is dishonored on the due date. That means X is the drawer cum endorser, Y is the acceptor, and Z is the endorsee, and on the date of maturity the bill is dishonored. So in the books of X, on the date of dishonor, the entry will be Y debited with the amount of bill plus the noting charges to Z, because now the bill has been dishonored. Now Z will again take the payment from X, and Z has again become the creditor for X, therefore Z will be credited again. In the books of Y, the entry will be same, bills payable account debited with the amount of bill, noting charges account debited with the amount of noting charges which he has to bear, to X. And in the books of Z, that is endorsee, the entry will be X debited, because again the X will become the debtor because the bill has been cancelled, to bills receivable account with the amount of bill, to cash account with the amount of noting charges with which he has paid for the time being. And here, very important point, X will be debited with the amount of bill as well as the noting charges. Notes. Note number 1, it may be noted that in case of dishonor of a bill, the drawer always debits the acceptor's account and credits the bill's receivable account if he himself possesses the bill, or credits the bank account if he discounted it with the bank, or credits the endorsee's account if he endorsed the bill. That means in the books of drawer, always and always at the time of dishonor, always the bill's receivable account needs to be recorded in any of the form. In all the cases, whenever the bill is dishonored, whether it is discounted, whether it is endorsed, whether it is retained till maturity, always the acceptor's account will be debited, or the drawer's account will be debited in the books of drawer, along with the amount of bill plus the noting charges, always in all the cases. And which account will be credited? It will be the bills receivable account will be credited if the bill is retained till maturity. Bank account will be credited if the bill is discounted with the bank, and endorsee's account will be credited if the bill is endorsed. Point number 2, in case of dishonor of a bill, the acceptor always prepares the same entry whether bill is presented for payment by the drawer himself or by the bank or by third party. Whatever be the case, he will debit the bills payable account and credit drawer's account. And the entry for dishonor in case in the books of acceptor or drawer will always be the same entry. Bills payable account debited with the amount of bill, noting charges account debited with the amount of noting charges, to the drawer's account, because now ultimately he has to make the payment to drawer. Now, insolvency of the acceptor. That means now acceptor is not refusing the payment because he does not want to pay. Now the acceptor is becoming bankrupt, insolvent. That means now the amount could not be recovered from him at all. So in that case, obviously a term we have learned, bad debts, the amount which could not be recovered from our debtors. So when the acceptor of a bill becomes insolvent, it implies that he will not be in a position to meet his acceptance on due date. As such, the bill accepted by him is treated as dishonored, and hence the entries will be passed on the same lines as in the case of ordinary dishonor. Usually some partial payment is received from the insolvent in the form of number of paisas in a rupee, say 40 paisa in a rupee of the amount due from it. This we have already learnt in journal. The amount received from the insolvent estate is known as dividend, and the amount remaining unpaid is debited to bad debts account in the books of drawer. The unpaid amount is treated as deficiency in the books of insolvent, and it is credited in its books. For example, following entries will be passed if Y, who is the acceptor of the bill, becomes insolvent. Number 1. First of all, an entry is passed for the dishonor of the bill. In case of, even if the drawer has become insolvent, the entry for dishonor will be the same in the books of drawer, same entry as in the case of dishonor, that is the reverse entry. What will be the entry? Children, drawer's account debited to bills receivable account. And in the case, in the books of drawer, again same entry as in the case of dishonor of the bill, that is bills payable account debited to drawer. Now when a part payment is received from insolvent state, that means suppose if the bill was for 50,000, 40,000 is recovered from his private property, but 10,000 could not be recovered, for example, then in that case in the books of drawer the entry will be bank account debited with the amount which actually recovered, that is 40,000 in our example. Bad debts account debited with the amount which could not be recovered, that is 10,000 in our example, to Y 50,000. Why bank is debited? Because money is coming in. Why bad debts is debited? Because it is the amount of loss. Now the acceptor has become insolvent. It can never be recovered. 2Y. Because his account needs to be closed now. And in the books of drawing, the entry will be X debited because now X's account needs to be closed with the amount of 50,000, for example. To bank account with the amount actually is being able to pay it from his private property, let's say 40,000 in our example. To deficiency account, 10,000, that means which could not be paid by the drawer, and in the books of drawer this amount will be written as bad debts, as a loss it will be debited, and in the books of drawer it will be written as deficiency and will be credited. So these were the various cases related to bills of exchange, children, regarding the accounting treatment when the bill is drawn, accepted, honored, dishonored, renewal, rebate, everything. We have discussed all the concept and entries related to bills of exchange, children. Kindly go through the previous video and this video once again, and try to solve practical questions, as many as you can, and just revise the entries along with the logics, children. In the upcoming video, we'll be discussing few of the questions which you need to do in your copies. Till then, thank you children, take care, and again revise the videos.